You'll hear from me, you'll hear from friends, you'll even hear from the student at the bus stop. Uni takes work. There's going to be studying, projects to complete, and the very easy chance to slip into a cycle of burnout. You probably even already know what I'm talking about here.
Stop me if you've heard this one before. You're going through a class lesson, maybe math, maybe chemistry, maybe programming, and you're staring at a wall of text written in what might as well be an entirely different language. You take forever to eventually understand it and stare at it until your eyes and mind are burnt out from studying for so long. Eventually, you get it done, you close your work, and you get ready to do it all again the next day. The cycle of work seems painful and unnecessary, doesn't it? It does for me, and it does for hundreds of other students out there. But what if there was another way? You might think to yourself, that's just the life of a college student, I guess. But it doesn't have to be. If you have some efficient methods of studying by your side, you can give yourself a fighting chance. It doesn't have to be a trial, it doesn't have to be a cycle of burnout, and it doesn't have to be you. To get the most out of any study, you need to apply active learning to it. It's the idea that learning is best done when it is experienced, like riding a bike or driving a car. It can be done with many methods, but the ones we're focusing on today, and my personal favorites, are practice questions, the Feynman technique, and elaborative interrogation. When you take a quiz or do any of your homework, you're already using the method of practice questions. The process involves solving questions for yourself, be it your homework, an old exam, or even ones you made up. It's best for evaluating what you do know and gives you a clear target to understand what you don't know. Named after the scientist Richard the Great Explainer Feynman, this method involves simplifying a concept until a child can understand. After all, when you're new to something, you know as much as a toddler. Start by writing the topic you want to learn, explain it without using any jargon, study up on the points where you couldn't simplify it, and simplify the entire thing until it's foolproof. Speaking of kids, they always ask the question, why? Why is that? Well, they want to have an answer to something that confuses them. This may seem annoying coming from them, but it's a powerful study technique. When you look at an explanation and ask why, you're both challenging any assumptions made about the topic and understanding where we got those assumptions from. Questions can include, where did that idea come from? Why do we do it this way? What is all of this like? Engaging with the information is what solidifies it in our head until it's been broken down from something that we don't understand into something that we do know. Now that we know how to process our learning, we have to figure out some way to make it stick in our heads. Did you know that you forget 90% of information that you learn after a month without looking at it again? This pattern is called the Ebbinghaus curve or the forgetting curve, discovered by Hermann Ebbinghaus, and is the pillar for the idea of spaced repetition. Spaced repetition is simple to use. Learn something. Wait a day, then practice it again. Then wait 2 days, then practice it again. Then 3 days, then a week, then a month, then 6 months, and so on. Doing this interrupts your brain erasing the information and forces it to recognize it as something important. Finally, remember to have fun in uni. There's so much to do, so many people to meet, and there's time to learn so much more than you would think. Having all of these study tips are a real time saver, and they definitely take the stress away from uni life. Thank you for listening, and see you soon, future scholars.